But as a trader, I want to trade it. So yes, absolutely owning something like Sweet, in addition to Solana, I think provides you some beta to your Solana core positions. And as the Solana ETF comes to markets, we saw yesterday a leaked version on the CME of Solana and XRP futures are going to start trading. The vol will start to slow down a bit in Solana, but the demand for it is nowhere near done. I think this thing has a lot more room to run. Now, secondarily, on the asset allocation piece, it is no surprise that we were the first fund to actually start trading and investing in meme coins in 2023. And this is one of the things that was a huge performance driver for us. If you actually look at the top 10 tokens for 2024, what was the number one performing asset? Dogecoin. It outperformed Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, everybody.
I was long Doge. It's the Elon plus election plus meme.
It's a no-brainer, right? And then when he named the agency Doge, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. This is so obvious, right? And in fact, Doge.gov website has a picture of the dog on it.
He's telling you this, right? It's a simulation, and he's telling you what he's going to do, which is he's going to use it on X and use it on Starlink and everything else.
Exactly. And so from my perspective, I think we own some core positions in what I would consider a blue chip meme coin. So these are things like your Doges and Bonks and kind of Pepes of the world, right? And part of that is a function of the liquidity available in the markets. We can't be, buying $100,000 of something is just not moving the needle for us, right? So I do think that, trading these things tactically, but having a core view that meme coins needs to be a part of your asset allocation is going to be key for the rest of the year.
I can't imagine a world in which a Doge ETF is not phenomenally successful. I've been begging Jan van Eck for a year now to say, file for this bloody thing before somebody else does, because it's going to get $30 billion of capital.
100% agree with you. And by the way, Bitwise, which I'm an investor in, they just filed for their Doge ETF, right? So this is coming, right? And last year when I was chatting with Jeff over at Bloomberg, who's one of the guys that works for Balkunis on the ETF stuff, when the Ethereum ETF, spot ETF got approved, which caught everybody by surprise, my immediate view was Solana's next, and there's going to be an utter proliferation of these ETFs going forward. And the reason is, as you know, asset issuers love to make money on the fees of these things. And if they look on chain and they see trading volumes of meme coins or pick another token, they're going to want to wrap that up and make it available to folks that typically just use Robinhood or E-Trade or Schwab or their own broker, right? This is not slowing down. I think you're going to see a massive proliferation of these ETFs. And of course, when an ETF is announced for a particular token, the value of that token tends to rise. So a lot of these are going to be meme coins. TradFi is going to have to start accepting the fact that things that have no fundamental value are going to be traded on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ.
They are going to have to understand that they never understood the internet. It was always a game of attention.
Exactly.
And they don't realize that attention is upstream of everything. Personal relationships, work, everything is attention. And this is a capturing of attention.
And look, I've mentioned this many times, and I mean this with no disrespect to people that went to business school. But if you go to a Chicago business school, there is no curriculum teaching you how to value culture. It doesn't exist, or value attention.
Raoul Pal, the veteran market strategist and CEO of Global Macro Investor, has thrown down the gauntlet with a daring claim that not Bitcoin, the formidable pioneer of cryptocurrencies, but Dogecoin, yes, the meme-inspired token, might hold the title of the greatest chart of all time. Let's dive deeper into Pal's bold proclamation and why he believes Dogecoin might not just be a passing trend, but the future reigning champion of digital assets. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy Crypto.
I've got a few things in my wallet that are down enormously, and I pretend that I don't see them because they're only in my small bag, which was like less than 5% in mine, so I don't really care. Global M2 versus Bitcoin. Every time it breaks out, Bitcoin breaks higher, obviously. So we've talked about that before. We've done that chart. We're on that chart. The business cycle is picking up. New orders are screaming higher. The business cycle is the driver of global earnings. Global earnings get recycled into risk. recycling into risk means risk assets like small cap stocks, through to commodities, through to alts in crypto go higher. The business cycle has only just started. A number above 50 for the ISM is expansion of the business cycle. We've just had our first print since God knows when of this going on the upside through 50. Last time was 2020. So we've got the cycle to play out. We are nowhere near the peak in the cycle, which I'll come to in a sec. New orders, less inventories. This is a 3-month lead, screaming even higher. The business cycle is going to pick up fast. And financial conditions, the dollar, oil, rates, they say, well, it should go to at least 55.6, but that would be low for the ISM because guess what? We think the dollar goes lower, rates go lower, and oil goes lower. So that should push this up into the 60s, which extends the cycle further. So we're at least 9 months away from a cycle peak. So it is very interesting where we are. It is all very positive. When we look at the overbought, oversold indicator of where we are in the cycle with crypto, we're nowhere near overbought. We're just starting. Bitcoin, every time the ISM peaks, Bitcoin peaks. When the ISM breaks 50, Bitcoin accelerates. We are at the acceleration phase, not the peaking phase. Anybody who tells you otherwise is a fucking moron. So we're at the acceleration phase. We've got liquidity coming. The ISM is not going to peak until the end of the year, maybe even into 2026. There is nothing, literally nothing to concern yourself. Here's the ISM and a kind of detrended, some fancy thing that Julian does with this. Gives you a pricing model of Bitcoin. I mean, if the ISM goes up to 60, where it should be going, I mean, we're talking Bitcoin in the 250, 350, whatever thousand level. We ain't even started. Oh, and altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. Here's altcoins percentage of total market cap. Now, I've shown you this chart maybe 58 billion times, and you forget it every time. I don't know what drugs you guys are taking, but maybe a little less. So to increase your memory bandwidth would be somewhat helpful to me because it's tiring to show you the same chart and you forget it every second. So what we have here is altcoins as a percentage of Bitcoin total market cap. As ISM goes up, people go out the risk curve. Sorry, speaking with a mouth full. That's not actually very civilized. I get it. I'll probably start vaping later and you can insult me for that as well.
Raoul Pal's latest assertion has left many in the financial world buzzing. The sudden rise of Dogecoin has been likened to a comic book hero's journey, and Pal's statement only fuels the narrative. His support is backed by data, which highlights Dogecoin's astounding 500% outperformance against Bitcoin since it graced the digital stage back in December 2013. Initially trading at a humble $0.000056, Dogecoin has catapulted to a staggering current price, marking a 461,407% increase.
Basically, we've just crossed 50 in the ISM. That doesn't mean instant alt season right now. Give me my alts. Where's Banana Zone? Banana Zone's not happening. The Banana Zone's failed. You've slipped on the banana skin. Shut the fuck up. It takes time. It'll all play out. As the ISM accelerates, altcoins will accelerate. So, inflation, that's the other thing. Oh my God, inflation's coming back. It's going to be the 70s again. I know. I hear these narratives from you guys because I see it all over Twitter. I see you messaging me on the Real Vision platform. I see you talking to each other on the Real Vision platform. And I just hear these voices. I'm like, where are you getting this from? I don't understand. You're listening to some random crappy macro guys never run a portfolio telling you something. And you're like, see, he said it. The inflation's coming back. We're all going to lose money. I get it. We've all got our net worth in this entire fucking trade. And we want it to work. Please, 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 just focus. So, wages. Wage tracker growth going lower. Therefore, we will not see wages increasing for a while, if at all, depending whether AI breaks it entirely. Ain't concerned about that. Oh, home prices. Well, home prices are a massive drag because there's a 17-month lead. So home prices will be bringing down CPI shelter, which is the largest part of CPI. If the largest part of core CPI is shelter, it ain't going up. When rates go down, guess what? Owner equivalence rents come down, and that drags down CPI. Look at the Cleveland New Tenant Rent Index, 3-quarter lead. It's puking. It's gone below zero. There is no inflation, my friends. Let's take away shelter and look at all items less shelter, because shelter's the lagging one, 1.9%. I mean, really, dudes? And then we'd use the Mount Fuji chart of truth that Julian and I have been using forever. Like, we take all the inflation episodes, the major inflation episodes, compare them to this one, and guess what? Inflation is coming lower. So we will get cyclical inflation later in the thing. There's nothing structural. We're not going back to the 1970s. None of that's going to happen. Literally none of that's going to happen. Tariffs are not inflationary. It wasn't inflationary last time. It won't be this time. None of that's going to happen. It'll just be a pretty ordinary cycle. So that tells me dips are for buying. The cycle top. Again, all the fucking noise on X. The cycle top is the top. Is it topped early? Oh my God, it's the worst. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. We're nowhere near.
Let's delve into the numbers that underpin Pal's claims. Dogecoin's current trajectory sits in an intriguing descending channel, with the Doge BTC pair priced at 0.0000269. In essence, it would set a new precedent, replacing Bitcoin's coveted position as the leader in the cryptocurrency market. While this prediction seems to hover on the edge of fantasy, there's certainly no shortage of evidence. Yet the meme coin's limitless supply and whimsical origins pose considerable challenges to the realization of Pal's grand vision. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Let's have a look at it versus the 2017 cycle. Are we near the top? No, we're fucking near. Are we going to follow this exactly? No. Are we going to do decently based on this? I think so. I think it's going to rhyme more than people expect, and we will have a stronger cycle than people expect. The NASDAQ, for those of you who still bother to trade equities, which I know some of you do, it's following the same pattern. It's all like a rerun of the previous Trump, because he's got the same policies, basically, apart from with the new tech stimulus. So let's go back. Again, Julian talked about this in his presentation, but I want to hammer it home to you. You guys all have PTSD from the last cycle. It finished early. Is it going to happen again? Am I going to lose my money? Am I going to round triple my gains? Will I die? Will I have to drink Bud Light for the rest of my life? Or can I drink champagne? All of these stories. Blah, 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 blah. The orange zone market goes higher. Right? But it didn't really in 2021. Well, what happened in 2021? Oh, the ISM peaked. Do you remember? Raoul told you a minute ago, when the ISM peaks is when you need to be worried. Oh yes, the ISM peaked in March 2020, 2021. Previously, it peaked in January, February 2018. Guess what? That's when ETH peaked. Also 2013. It works every time. And where are we now? Oh, we're at the bottom of the ISM. Oh, how silly of me to be worried about the about the market peaking. For fuck's sake, people. And so I don't even know what this chart is. Oh yeah, from the halving. We've only done, is it from the halving or from the low? We've only done an 8x from the low. We did an 85x and a 46x. We only started.
As we wrap up this fascinating exploration of Dogecoin's potential to dethrone Bitcoin, one can't help but marvel at the twists and turns of the cryptocurrency narrative. With an ever-evolving digital landscape, newcomers like Dogecoin continue to surprise and challenge our perceptions of value and market dominance. But what do you think? Share your thoughts. And finally, if you would like to know more about cryptocurrencies, or specifically Bitcoin, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.